live. There we go. Ha.
The A Show.
Where smart is the new sexy.
And now, April Hunter. Welcome to the most important podcast you are listening to right now. The A Show with April Hunter and Aaron.
See, they mess everything up. I swear to God, whoever is touching this stuff on StreamYard, what are you doing? Why are you changing everything around on us? Just stop. Hello, welcome to the A Show. It would not be the A Show without us screwing up the start of every show. Welcome. We are so excited to have everybody here, and we are excited to have with us tonight award-winning director, writer, actress, producer, Rachel Suissa. We also have actor and musician, Wade Hunt Williams. We are talking about your newest film. You are known for Dangerous
Liaisons.
Yep. And most recently, Greek Mothers Never Die, which was I've seen that multiple times. We need more films like that. Why are people not making these films, these feel-good, amazing films?
Thank you.
So now you're having a re-release.
Yeah, it's
tell us about this.
And that's what's wonderful with the indie cinema, which is very dear to my heart, is that it's something that can grow. You know, there is a lot of different stages. It's not like the Hollywood cinema. You have one release and then that's it, and it's gone. You start with a small window, which is like the VOD first, you know, and you can only play or rent the movie. And it's really for the aficionados. It's really for a very small circle. It's, basically the family and the friends. And then between that and the festival world, the movie starts to get legs, starts to gain in a little bit in, not in fame, but you know, people start to be behind the wheel, behind it, and then it got pushed. And I was lucky enough to have a small theatrical screening. To be right now, since November, the movie is on Prime Video. It's streaming, which is huge for a small indie movie made with a lot of heart and wonderful actors, Wade Hunt Williams, and so now after all that, we have a new stage, which is that the movie is also used to help people, because these screenings that are coming now in Port Richey are all for charity. So So that's a very great. Special, and so that's a very special release. It's to help children in need. So the movie at the same time can reach, the crowd, or people that love good old-fashioned romantic comedies with a twist of supernatural, and at the same time, it's a way to connect culture to causes that matter. You know, so that's why I'm very excited about this one. It's 3 special screenings in Newport Richey at the Suncoast Cinema, and it will be the 2nd and the 3rd of January. And there may be some Q&A with me and Wade. So
nice.
Tell us about the movie, Rachel. Tell us, people who haven't seen the movie. But first, before you tell us about the movie, let me tell you something. I would recommend this movie even if I wasn't in it, and I'm very lucky to be in it. So thank you for having me, Rachel. But it's one of those movies where I didn't know what I was getting into until I actually saw it. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, this is like you said, it's an old-fashioned, feel-good, romantic comedy with a touch of spirituality. And I left the theater the first time seeing it going, oh my God, I'm in a really good movie, right? I'm in a good movie. And because I've made some bad ones. And I've seen the movie probably 4 or 5 times now. Not one time have I not cried. I know where it's coming. I know the script. I cried every single time. You've made a fantastic movie. So can you tell the audience a little bit about it and how you came to it? What is it and how did you write it and how did you direct it?
Sure. And first, I want to say that the movie would be less good if you were not in it, Wade. I mean, you are, I mean, it was like, oh, you are one of my rocks there. I mean, all the actors are wonderful in the movie, and I'm very proud of the cast. Actually, that's one of my biggest joy, you know, to be able to show that cast to the world. And the movie, well, actually, it's based on a one-woman show that I wrote 10 years ago, and that I was acting in Paris, and it's completely based on my relationship with my mom, who is Greek, and I'm French Greek. I mean, French Jewish father from Morocco, Greek mother, and me was born in France, so multicultural. But I was raised as a Greek girl, and me wanting to be an artist, an actress, and my mom having restaurants and gyros, and we just didn't have the same definition of what we would call the American dream. So when you have a mom that is so, I won't say crazy.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
That's what makes this film relatable. Everybody
related to the mom.
Yeah, so relatable. It doesn't matter if you are Greek, Italian, probably French, Black, white, Hispanic. Everybody has that mom.
A strong presence that shapes your life, you know, and that, you know, she, you know, like when some moms will just give an advice, you know, an advice, you say it one time, that's an advice. When you say it multiple times, it's an order. But so my mom, she's at the same time so generous, so overbearing, and so loving, and at the same time so neurotic that you know, I was thinking I have two choice there: it's therapy or one woman show. And so I went with the laugh, and so I did this one woman show. But as I grew, I became a mother myself, and instead of relating just to the daughter, I started to see also the side of my mom. And that one woman show became a movie, and it took me a really long time to write it. And not because I had not inspiration, but because I was shooting other movies in between. I started as an actress. I was also working as an actress. And in my spare time, I was doing this little project on the side. And then I understood that it had to take 10 years because I needed to be old enough to be my mother and to play my mother in the role. And so, and it works. I mean, I said to my husband, don't you think I'm a little too young, you know, like to play my mother? And he was like, you're perfect. I was like, what do you mean? So at the end, so this is the movie.
They did age you well. Like in the movie, you definitely look much older than you are in real life.
Yeah, because I take out the makeup, you know. At the beginning I wear makeup and I'm younger, and then I just go natural. but so it's really a movie that in spite of everything is a love letter to my mom, that is the story of a Greek daughter and a Greek overbearing mom, that they move together in America during the Greek economic crisis, and the mom has this gyros, this restaurant, and she really wants her daughter to just be safe, marry a good guy, and take over the restaurant. But the daughter always wanted to be a singer like her late dad. And so they always argue about the future, about everything, about letting the daughter live her life. And so very early in the movie, they have this big fight, and the mother died. And the daughter basically thinks, now I'm very sad because I kind of killed my mother in this argument, but also maybe it's a sign. Maybe now I can see what it tastes like to smoke a cigarette and live my life. But no, because Greek mothers never leave their children even after death. Nothing can pull them apart. So the mother just decided to continue not ghosting her, the opposite. I mean, haunting her. And actually it's a really fun supernatural comedy. Like in the 90s, I wanted that vibe, you know. I mean, I grew up with all those movies from Woody Allen to Huge, and to, you know, all those movies that had something warm and that made us we go out of the room and we feel good at the end of the movie.
True,
So
very
I wanted to recreate this old school vibe, and at the same time, to make, of course, it's a movie about loss and healing, but more than loss, it is about healing. And it's a movie that reminds us that the people we leave never go away, that it's never too late to settle things right, to say everything you had to do to make peace. And also this very particular thing that when somebody die, a mom, a dad, suddenly it's not just a mother figure or dad figure. You realize that it's a whole map, and this was a whole person, and you discover almost all the stage of her life, and you realize that you are so more identical than what you thought. So that's what is deep there. But really, it's a movie that even if there is some loss, there is a lot of healing and a lot of singing and a lot of crazy Greek drama. And you left hopefully at the end with one little tear, but feeling good. Not a tear of joy,
tears.
not a tear. Yeah, not a tear of.
Very much so. I tell you what, people are watching it for sure. I walked into the bank the other day. The lady behind the counter, she looked at me and she goes, "Chief." I went, "Oh, you've seen the movie?" She's like, "Yes." And then she hands me my money back. Now, then she hands me my money and she goes, "Voila." And
That's where you know that from me.
you have to see the movie. You have to see the movie to get that joke.
No, yeah. My family still every time goes voila. Now every time there is a thing
there you go in French, right?
Voila.
It's voila, but it's the voila of the chief.
Yes.
But and I can see how instinctively you went back in your Greek accent.
Oh no. It's no problem. It's no problem. No, it's no problem. No problem.
I have to say that. You know the story, Wade, but the world doesn't know it. Like Wade, it was when Wade passed the casting of this movie, it was not to play the role of the chief as it is now, the chief of the hospital, that is the chief, because that movie this role did not exist. He was gonna do another role that was the husband of the young mother when Despina, me. And so when I saw him, I felt that he had this energy. First of all, I thought he was Greek. He got really fooled me because I never heard his real accent.
He's ethnically ambiguous.
I thought I'm going to create a role for him. And I changed things up and adapted a role where he could shine and be himself. Not himself, because he's completely a different character. It's gonna blow your mind. But he can put all his warmth and range and humor, but also his singing, because he's a wonderful singer. And so we adapted together a scene that normally was a speaking scene as a song. That now becomes also one of the circles of the movie, one of the rocks of the movie. And when I casted Wade, we had the first casting, then another casting for the role that he's actually doing, and then and he had this Greek accent, and I was like, "So where do you come from?" And he's me. "Well, I'm from Texas." And I was like, "I just moved to America. So my ear is not yet but I can tell that this is a Greek accent. This is not an American accent." And he said, "But I'm telling you, well, now I live in Tampa, but originally I'm from Texas."
Yeah. Well,
and then I said, and then he said, "So I'm really in the movie?" And I say, "Yes." And he said, "Well, okay, so this is my real accent. I'm from Texas."
There's a great lesson there. Number one, now the blessing is you didn't tell me till later that you had written that role, the chief, for your friend Olympia Dukakis, and she passed away before the movie could be made. So right off the bat, as an actor, I'm just absolutely floored and so humbled that you rearranged the role for me, because I remember reading the script and it was a female chief, and you rearranged the whole thing to make it for me, and I'm so blessed by that. But at the same time, what I do is I like to stay as much in character. I want the producers and directors to feel completely comfortable. So I stayed in a moderate Greek accent through the entire audition process.
Yeah.
And then when you told me I got the movie, then I was able to speak like this. But once I had the movie, I went down to Tarpon Springs I think I was there for 3 or 4 months, and I just listened, and I listened, and I listened, and I listened. I spent just 3 months talking in that Greek accent, so I didn't lose it. And because it's a hard one. Like I do a lot of accents in a lot of movies,
Yeah.
but this is it's a very hard one because if
Yeah.
you go too far, you're in Italian. You go this way, all of a sudden you're Middle Eastern. So it's this very strange line. So
It's
thank you for
true.
giving me the trust in that, and
Oh,
it's making an impact. People are very happy about this movie.
Oh,
I'm
happy.
gonna play the trailer if you guys are good with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because you're talking about it, but people would, they would like to see it.
Absolutely.
Also, what I wanted to mention is the fact that it's re-releasing during the Greek Orthodox Christmas.
Yes.
So Orthodox Christmas, some people know, some people don't know, is during Epiphany, which is now, like it's January through January 6th, right? So to have this Greek Mothers Never Die release during that time is a really big deal. That's like Christmas Day movie opening for a movie, on Christmas. So you're getting that, opportunity for our big Greek festival that's happening here in Tarpon. So that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of good energy is
congratulations.
Yes. Yes,
That's
definitely.
awesome.
So so let me see if I can, they switched everything around on me here. Let me see if I can,
Rachel, have you ever been to the celebrations in Tarpon before?
I saw it. I saw there was a movie about that, and I saw the movie about it. I never went there because it was too hard to get, honestly, a hotel room at that moment. I was like, where am I going to stay?
Yeah.
But my mom, when I moved to America for 3 months, I lived in Tarpon Spring with my mom. So Tarpon knows the real Despina. And I was there not during the celebration, but during 3 months straight, so to really get to know Greece, but in America, basically, because it's real. You have those 5 streets, and you really think that you are in the island of Kalymnos. It's amazing. And in the movie, I took Tarpon Spring, where I first started getting my roots when I moved to America, and I moved it on Amelia Island, which is the island where now I live. And I created this imaginary island, but really based on my experience in Tarpon with my mom. So it's a really cool, special place. Yeah.
All right, I'll play this for you guys if you guys are good.
Excellent.
All right,
Yeah.
let's give it a go. Here we are.
Since antiquity, Greek mothers have haunted their daughters with overbearing love until the day they die.
I'm fine, Mama. Stop worrying. I'll stop worrying when I'm dead.
Except for my mother, Despina.
I wish for you to have a daughter that makes you suffer as much as you make me suffer.
She literally survived her own death.
Heart, that's it, it's the heart attack, it's coming.
You failed me as a mother.
That's it, the heart.
If you're going to die, just die.
I killed my mother. Put that cigarette down. I left 2 minutes and you became a smoker.
You made me believe I killed you.
But you did.
Elitza?
I see dead people.
You've heard of me. Ma'am, you don't recognize me.
Nick.
It's been what?
12 years.
I'm not gonna marry him.
Help.
Oh, sorry. I need to get ready for surgery.
Opa!
Chief,
This is how you prepare to operate.
I'm Ella, his wife-to-be.
How did you two meet?
when I was living in Greece, Ella was my only friend.
At least we're giving it a shot, right?
I do like you. It's just, more like a sister.
Like incest?
Some people are lovable and I'm not.
Never think you're not lovable. If you don't love yourself, who's gonna love you?
Before her death, my mother was the obstruction, but then here she was pushing me forward. And it looked like the world's ultimate late bloomer was finally ready to bloom.
Hello.
Now this is not right.
I wish I could fit in. I don't think that I fit this box.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very, very good. Very, very good. This
Very
movie.
good.
Very good for you. Very good. Yes.
A lot of opera. Oh yeah, it's always emotional because I don't watch often. I don't rewatch the my how do we call that, the teaser. So I hadn't watched it in a long time, and I'm like, yeah, it works.
It absolutely works. And just a little personal note in there, that handsome young man that is running around with your daughter on the beach. That's my real son.
Yes,
He played the young Nick in the movie.
That's awesome.
So
He's not chubby anymore. He hit puberty since then, and now
Oh.
he's,
no, he's
getting
Doesn't look
very
anything
tall
like
and
that.
very thin.
he's taller than me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
it's
crazy.
crazy how
I mean,
kids
yeah.
get older and we don't change. It's crazy.
Yeah, they went from here to here.
We don't move, but they.
Crazy.
Like in 2
Well,
weeks.
but
Yeah.
well, I want to see a picture. Tell him to come. He's one of the actor. Bring him in
I would love that.
in the Q&A.
I will try.
And also, yeah, the young my daughter Ella, when she's young, and she's also my real daughter, the young version
Yes.
of her. So it's my real daughter with his real son are the couple in the movie. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
it's
Yeah.
really a family movie. See.
It really is. And as far as I've got a bunch of movies coming out this year, and I'm really really proud of this one, Rachel. I really am. And to tell a quick story that no one else really knows is that it was such I didn't know how it was going to turn out because it was low budget. It was you were doing everything. I was watching you on set, and I was like, how was this woman getting everything? What is this going to be? I was like, you were producing, you were directing, and then I'd see you go into character, and then I'd see you deal with us and help us, and then you deal with lighting and stuff. And it's just like I was like, how was this? I was just like, I don't have no idea. And then you watch the movie, and I can't get over how I'm being completely honest. I'm only in the movie for 20 minutes, and you the lady who plays who plays who's the lead? What's her name? The young lady.
I don't know if she's
Abby
great.
Minor. Abby Minor.
Oh,
That plays the
Who's the
daughter.
guy, the young
She plays
doctor.
Emma.
He's so great.
Oh, and yeah, the guy who plays Nick, the acting is fantastic. I think it's so good once you finally see it. If everybody's watching it, please. I just saw someone put up there that they've got it on their queue. Yeah, I really want you to watch it because it's one of those movies that I would literally tell you to watch it even if I wasn't in it, because this doesn't do anything for me whether you watch it or not. I just love this movie so much. I just love it. I love it the way that makes you feel. I love the way everyone who's watched it has told me they've watched it definitely more than once.
It's a movie that it's a little bit strange because, well, first of all, I really made it so people would enjoy it watching it twice, because there are a lot of little things that you need to already know the ending and then to rewatch the movie, and then it's like a little puzzle that you complete yourself. So definitely that was very important for me, a movie that is not disposable, that you just don't have a good time and then that's it. You won't watch it again.
Right.
And
3 times.
oh, sorry.
You watched it 3 times?
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
The third is even better.
It's still good.
But it's also a movie that it's like an odyssey. That means it changed completely what you think you are watching in the first 10 minutes. It's such a different world where this movie brings you at the end. And it's a movie that you have to take the time to enter in it and to be lullabied, by the spirit that is in the movie, because it's not typical. It's a movie really that came out from my brain, and that I think that it's a movie that keeps getting better in the storyline, because it keeps surprising you, and every time you think you got it figured out, there's a little twist.
I invite everyone to watch it. Hey, listen, April, I know that we're running over a little bit, so thank you for having us tonight. So Rachel, tell us again what days and what theater, and then we'll let April get.
For the special screening, it's the 2nd and 3rd of January at the Sun Coast Theater in Newport Richey. So the 2nd of January at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, yes. So Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. And I'll be there for Q&A every time. And Wade will join me Saturday at 2 p.m. And the movie is also out on streaming on Prime, on Tubi, on Fandango, on Plex, and on other platforms. And one cool thing that you could do also for Christmas for this movie, for every independent movie, is if you like the movie, just put a review on Prime or on IMDb, because this helps. It's the best gift you can ever do for a movie and for people to be able to access easily indie cinema. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it helps with the algorithm too. So you're absolutely right. We talk about that all the time. Any small business, any movie, any independent author,
super important.
It really helps with reviews. So
and you know also that you always have haters that will put bad things. So we need just the truth, just to balance it out, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, may I also throw something in there real quick?
Yeah.
That Ritchie Suncoast Theater in Newport Richie, support them, review them too. After even if you can't make it to see the movie there, they also support downtown Newport Richie as much as you can, and write a review if you ever get a chance to go see anything there. They can use your support.
Good people.
So.
And know that if you come, if you come specially to those screenings, it's all going for the kids. It's not a screening that are organized. It's not for us. It's really for a good cause. So it's a cool way. Yeah,
money goes towards helping the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
This is winning.
Yes, it's double win. You watch a good movie, a movie made with heart, and it is a small miracle in itself, because as Wade say, it's a low budget made with heart, and at the same time it's a good cause, But no matter what, put a review. If you liked it, if you didn't, you do nothing. You let it go.
No one doesn't like this film. Everyone likes this film. All right, April, thank you
so much for having us. Thank you. Merci à toi, c'était super. Thank you very much. Bye, bye, Wade. See you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good
one. Bye. Bye.
Remove, and then add to stage. Piers.
Yo.
Hey, buddy. Wade, I didn't know if he was hanging out. Hey, Piers.
What's up? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? It's New Year's Eve here.
What time is it there in Australia?
11:30 a.m.
Okay, and you're on Wednesday, right? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm confused.
It's Wednesday. I had to check. I'm on holidays at the moment, so I'm like, I don't know what the fuck.
So to everybody, I didn't even get a chance to say hi to everybody. So hi, everybody joining us. We appreciate you so much. We just ran right in here because here's why. During this time frame, people have off. So we're able to get people in that we don't normally get in for this exact reason. Like Piers is off and he can't normally come in at this time. It's like you're at work these hours, right? So Rachel's free. So we're cramming people in, So thank you for making time for us. Next week, however, I just want to mention we are doing a full fan chat. We're just going to hang out with the fans. It's just going to be Eva and I, and we're going to talk. We're going to talk and talk about. We've got a lot of good news stuff. But this week we are going to appreciate our guests who are available to hang with us. So, Piers, you are we've had you on before, but wrestling manager, podcast.
Shit talker, controversial personality to say the least. Someone who just, I got to be careful now because there's some new laws going on in Australia, and this podcast I could end up getting arrested. No joke.
Let's keep you out of the fire. What's going on? What's happening?
Okay, so since the Bondi attacks that happened, that you and I have been texting about, which was a crazy thing that's happened on our shores, which is, we haven't seen something like that happen since the Port Arthur massacre, which was 96. Two people just, so anyway, we'll get it. I'm sure we're going to break it down and stuff. But so following what happened there, our politicians have come out and said anyone who makes any anti-Islamic statements or comments will be charged. Anyone who makes any anti-Semitic comments or anti-Jewish comments will be also charged. Anyone who makes statements promoting Hamas or Palestine, which is from the river to the whatever. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble, but and also a couple of others. But yeah, so Australia now has gotten to the point where we're now silencing ourselves. We're taking away our right to speak. We're taking away it's ridiculous here, to the point where just recently in the news, right? There's this guy who's like rocking a punk rock shirt, a punk rock hat, and he's like, yeah, so I was just down at the beach, man, and seeing this guy that had like Schwarzenegger tattoos on his legs and stuff. And so I called the police, right? And the police came and charged the guy and arrested him for displaying anti-Semitic artwork or something ridiculous like that. Look, I'm not in any favor of people getting Schwarzenegger tattoos or whatever, but look, it is your right to get whatever what you get tattooed on you. And also the thing is, like, what this guy did was about as Australian as warm piss at a barbecue. And this is what we're getting to. Like, we're just overly fucking censoring ourselves.
Reminds me of COVID. Like, you got to rat out your neighbor now. Remember that one? If you see anything going on, tell on your neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. And that's exactly what they did during COVID as well. Like, it was encouraging people to snitch. And you look at like one of our politicians, Pauline Hanson, back in the mid-90s, right? And this is where I want to sort of go into on how, like, the different generations of Australians have changed. And I'm sure the different generations of Americans have changed, right, over the years. But so Pauline Hanson in the 90s was a politician who was running for prime minister. She was gaining a lot of controversy. So she was the leader of the One Nation Party. So people called her a racist, a fascist. They even put her in jail as well at some points as well. Right now, fast forward to 2025, she's saying the same thing that she was saying back then. We need to slow down this immigration. We need to slow down. We need to do vetting processes better. We are welcoming people to this country who want to become Australians, who want a better life, who want to take on our core values. And that's what she's saying now. And that's what she was saying back in the 90s, right? Now, I said the differences between generational and how we've changed. Now, my parents completely on the left, So they would, and like, you got to think, people of their generation, my parents are like mid 70s. Okay. So they came up through the 60s and the 70s.
Now your left is the same as America's left. Is that liberal?
Yeah. Like that's okay. Liberal, but we would call them the Labor Party, right? They're Labor supporters. So where our generation has seen like what's happened to our country over the years, and we've gone, hold the fuck up. This doesn't seem right. This seems like a different thing altogether than what we agreed on. Okay, so when we look at multiculturalism in Australia and when that originally was announced in the 70s and the 80s, and when they said, hey, we're going to bring multiculturalism to Australia, what does that mean? Well, what that means is you may have a Chinese family move into your neighborhood, and what that means is you'll have a Chinese restaurant open up in your surrounding areas, or you'll have a family move in.
I'm excited there.
And that is what we saw. That's what we saw throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We saw people like immigrate to Australia who assimilated to our way of life, took on our core values, who wanted to be Australians, who wanted a better life for themselves.
Do you notice the Asians never have been an issue? They have always assimilated.
Oh, look, 100%.
Like, there's never, you never see an Asian go, okay, all of a sudden you guys have to do this, and I want you to practice Buddhism or Shintoism. And celebrate the Chinese New Year, or that's never happened. They just are like, okay,
in the middle of the
thank
street.
you very much. They don't do that. They don't shoot shit up.
No, they don't. And look, the Labor Party and our Prime Minister, they let us down. They have let the country down. They have, like, what happened at Bondi. The entire country is furious with our government. I am a proud Australian. I love my country, but I do not like our government. I do not like it. And I've had conversations with my parents about this, and straight away they have that leftist mentality when I start saying, I think Albanese's done. I don't want to talk about. No. Let's not discuss it. I'm like, why? Why? Like, you're my parents. I respect and love you. I'm your eldest son. Like, let's have this conversation. No. Are you scared to discuss your views? And that's what I see from a lot of the left, and even the lefts that do want to try and have those conversations. They're like, some of their theories behind it, I'm just like, are you fucking like, bro? Are you kidding me? And Australia needs a change, and if we don't, we're just going to become worse and worse. And we're seeing what's happened in London.
Oh, my God. That happened.
Yeah.
That happened in France first. I watched it. I was over there then. It happened in Marseille, and I saw an entire port city turn Islamic in a really fast. Hello, little man. A really fast period, a very fast period of time. Right. It was surprising.
Oh, he is cute.
What a cutie.
He's cute. He's cute.
I used to think Colin's son was the cutest, but I guess yours gives him a run for the money.
Yeah, Colin's on here. Sorry, buddy.
He's got the Australian accent, right? So
yeah, but Colin's kid has like a Mexican accent, sort of.
Oh, yeah,
accent for accent.
That's some competition right there.
There you go.
But, yeah, but I think like what we were saying, it's really gotten to the point here that Australia does need to change.
Colin says, if we saw it in London and we saw it in France, does that mean we'll see it in someone's underpants?
Maybe.
It is, but
sure.
And War Demon pointed out that Australia is a country and a continent too.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy here, man. It's crazy. There was even talk about like people were saying we need to have gun control, because it's like, not gun control, but imagine if we could have citizens that could walk around, that could carry and conceal. And what happened at Bondi, like these guys could have been taken out so much quicker. And look, I know you guys are Americans, and look, I'm like, the only thing I probably don't agree with is giving our people guns, because I think soon as you allow, like, if we go to being able to carry and conceal, man, that's a world I don't think I'm ready to live in.
All right, I'm gonna suggest I'm gonna offer you an alternative perspective.
Okay.
Because when you get to Texas or Florida, it's like, hey, welcome to Florida. Here's your gun. So, my dad used to say this, and it came from somebody obviously a lot smarter than my dad. He was a smart dude, but it was, an armed society is a polite society.
Mm-hmm.
So as we have gotten more and more armed in the states that are pro-gun, our crime rate has dropped. So let me riddle me this for a minute, and I want you to think about Switzerland, who was neutral during World War II, and the only country who was able to remain neutral. And there's even articles, not articles, but I want to say entries in diaries written where the Nazis did try to take Switzerland, but they were not able to, because every house, every single building, every house was mandatorily armed in Switzerland. All the men were trained on how to use their weapons. So if you are a person of ill repute and you are going to rob a store or a home, but you know that store has a shotgun, or you know that every house has a shotgun or a gun, or almost every house, are you going to choose the homes or the stores that you know are armed, or are you going to go somewhere where you can get easy pickings, where you know that it's a gun-free zone? Because most criminals they prefer not to get shot in the process, and they like to, they don't like that big of a challenge.
Well, they like to have the advantage over the person that they're dealing with. Like they're not going
Right.
to go in at a 50-50 chance of them getting, smoked in the process of them getting away with a few bucks.
And there's two things a lot of people don't know. The majority of the shootings in America happen in gun-free zones by a huge margin. The second thing that people don't know about America is that well over 50%, almost 60% of our gun statistics are actual suicides.
Yeah, it's skewed.
They're
That's
not
not
murders.
correct.
Yeah. They skew that for a reason. They have an ulterior motive. America is one of the dirtiest, shittiest, propagandist countries in the world. If you look at a lot of things that are bad happening, America's behind it. Not Americans, America. So we know that what our government is. Most of us know what our government is, how they're in bed with other, and led by other entities. So we're many of us are aware of this, but our media is skewed, our everything is skewed. So there's no other reason to put like a 57% suicide rate into our gun stats unless you're trying to prove a point. But that is something that is legitimate and real.
I think that is something that we definitely would see an increase here, in suicide rates, because it would just be easier for people.
I have a question for that, actually, Piers.
Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, I was trying to look up crime stats in Australia, and that was actually kind of difficult for me to find in a quick fashion. What is the, let's say, preferred? What is the preferred method of weapon over there? Is it knives? Is it fist? Is
Are you running at each other with sticks?
I mean, if somebody commits a crime, do they do that? Okay.
Well,
So in other words, a kangaroo could kick your fucking ass.
If you look, right, if you look in what you can use to defend yourself, right? So we talk about one of the things I want to discuss is Ahmed El Ahmed, the guy that disarmed one of the shooters at Bondi, right? People were saying, why didn't he shoot him? Why didn't he shoot him? Why didn't he shoot him? Okay, so in Australia, he was a very calm, calculated person, because if he shot him, even though that person was committing terrible harm and was an active shooter, actively engaged in committing murder and terror, if Ahmed El Ahmed had shot him, he also would have been charged for murder.
Right.
So
but he should have taken the gun and shot him no less than 5 times.
So if you look up, right, what you can use to self-defense in Australia, it says use something like a heavy stick or learn jiu-jitsu.
So disarming the guy, if he would have killed him, you're saying he would have been charged with murder?
By the way, that guy took bullets for doing that, for knocking. It took a couple bullets.
Yeah, I saw that.
He took 5. He took 5 bullets. He took 5 bullets, right?
Yeah.
So, man.
So
that's shit.
By the way,
sorry,
before we switch off of that, Colin pointed out that first he said criminals prefer the method of least resistance, and he also said, and again, a lot of people don't know this about America, but there's also the point that if you take away the cities with the most gun violence, America wouldn't even be in the top 100.
Right. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think the media does a lot of twisting and turning for a particular narrative, and I think that when you looked at, I think during when the left were in charge or the liberals were in charge of America, you saw a lot more reporting on that. You saw that was very much like for us, like during that Biden time and during the Obama time. Like I remember seeing Obama like breaking down in tears, like going, you know what I mean, like crying. But you know what, man, like he at the time, like bro,
Obama single-handedly did more damage to this country than I think any other president. That's saying a lot because we had the Bushes, and Bush destroyed this country.
Each one did different things of bad,
but Obama did so much damage, and I don't even think I realized the extent of that because I voted for him. So I don't think I realized how I campaigned for him. I don't think I realized the depths of how terrible that guy was for America until after, I started digging and realized, I'm like, oh my God, like he passed this law and he passed that law and he did this, he did that, he did this, he did that. He snuck this in with TARP. He did this. I'm like, we're paying for all this now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Like 1 in 4 houses, single family homes in America is now owned by BlackRock, and that is Obama. He put that in with TARP. So our housing crisis that we're dealing with now is thanks to Obama. Why people can't afford rent now because of that new law that was put in then. So it's like, oh my God. And every time I see people saying he was the greatest president, I'm like, but he wasn't. He destroyed.
I mean, for cultural reasons, you want him to be the greatest president. Being the first,
of course.
being
He was
the
the first black president. I wanted it, of course.
You want him to be the greatest thing since, you know what I mean? Like Abraham Lincoln. And I think
loved that. I'm like, well, we got a black president. Fucking A, yes.
And I think that for a lot of reasons was what, Americans were blindsided by. Because I think that you have the good story that you can put in front of them, right? And you can say, oh, like blah, 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 like first black president, well-spoken, doesn't look at a monitor. He has, all these positive attributes, right?
Yeah.
All these amazing attributes. He's one with the people, but he's fucking retarded. Like that was, you know what I mean? Like people put that aside, and like that's where like the world America and the world started to shift during that Obama thing. The world started to become soft. Oh no, you can't bully people. Like it became, that was when the downfall of it all started. That's when
he brought race right back to the forefront of Grant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you though, I honestly think a lot of what we're dealing with now was implemented with Bush though. I think 9/11. They had to do something with 9/11 to get that Patriot Act in. Without the Patriot Act, we couldn't have the mass surveillance. And that's where we are now. We're turning into this mass surveillance, everything with the Palantirs and the flock cameras and everything. And none of that could happen without putting the Patriot Act in first.
Sure.
It's like it's piece by piece by piece by piece. You got that, you Mockingbird, you this, that, COVID, put this in, put that, Emergency Act. All this stuff in equals power control, loss of the middle class, power control. So new way of living. It's the new normal. So it's less, I think it's been going on a lot longer than we realized.
Yeah,
and,
no,
can we circle back around to weapon real quick? Right before we go back off to flock cameras, because
hi Brian, what's up?
In Australia.
By the way, aren't they collecting guns in Australia too now?
Sorry, are they collecting guns? Yeah, they want to restrict gun laws even more. But like the interesting thing about this, right? So the guns used in the Bondi terror attack were all legally owned firearms by the older of the two shooters. Now, which has recently come out, the main sheikh or religious leader of the mosque that the father and son visited to, and apparently is allegedly somewhat behind the scenes involved in the Bondi massacre that we saw, he legally owns firearms and has about 10 of them. So not like, you know what I mean? Like this is like, what are we doing here? Like, are we just giving everybody guns? Are we not vetting people enough when we're allowing people to come into this country, but then we're also not vetting them and go, yeah, look, here's a bunch of guns. You want some high power rifles? Go nuts. Have a couple of shots.
I cut you off, Eva. I'm sorry, but you were talking about weapons too, and we're dealing with the same thing here in America. No.
I was just going to ask, like London, are they taking the tips off knives? Just curious.
only the bread knives.
Oh my God.
So the gun law. So somebody like that. Okay, so I was reading today that the father, that's accused of this, that he is not a natural born citizen of Australia. He is a citizen, but he's natural born, but his son is. And so how is he allowed to have weapons at all if he's not a natural born citizen?
He was an Indian born, but he migrated to Australia in 98, I believe. And obviously he would have had to have had Australian citizenship. The son back in 2019 was being investigated to links of ISIS. So he was on the radar in 2019. So he wasn't being investigated since 2019. So the younger two is 24 years of age. You go back to 2019, that means he was about 17 or 18. So what does that tell you? It means that these people are indoctrinating people at a young age, particularly young males, and feeding them full of this stuff and getting them at a young age when they are impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
And feeding it, and like that's to me what I got out of what I read or what
that's
I saw.
happening all over the world too here as well, unfortunately. But
yeah, I wanted to point out this is happening everywhere, not all over Western countries.
Of course.
Not just Western countries, it's happening in Eastern countries too. So India is infiltrated with Islam. And the Hindus and Indians don't care for it either. They are being brutalized as well and preyed upon. So just because he was born in India does not mean that, so because India was taken over, this is just a gigantic land grab, basically, is what's going on across the entire globe. So, Hindus, last week, I believe, Hindus were locked inside multiple houses in Bangladesh by Islamists and had their houses burned down while they were locked inside. So men, women, and children. In the UK, recently, just in the last couple of years, rapes are up 850%. That includes child rape, girls and boys. In courts recently, they agreed to allow animal sacrifices. The courts voted to allow it in people's homes. And I don't know if people understand that in Islam, dogs are considered haram. That is forbidden. They are considered no-go. So in public areas where it has become or is becoming or will become heavily Islamic, you cannot have a dog. They will not allow that. So in 1991, there are documents by the Muslim Brotherhood stating very, very clearly, and this is the problem with a lot of people, when they tell you what they're going to do, you need to fucking listen because they tell you. So they stated very clearly what their long-term plan was. And that is to get into as many Western nations through governmental positions. So move in, get into government, change the laws. So that's 35 years ago, and that is what's happening. So if you get into a government position, you can change the noise ordinances to allow for call to prayer 5 times a day, even if it's ear-shattering and breaks the noise ordinances normally there. You can allow for banning of dogs and making sure they put all pit bulls down and kill them across the board, like say in UK. They can allow for marriage, even forced marriage to 8-year-olds. They can get into governmental positions and change the laws. And that is and has been what they're doing. Now, this is not a religion. This is not ideology. And they move into Western areas and they use our own laws and constitution against us. So this is a problem. And people who, now I'm not saying this is everybody. I reckon 80% of people who are Muslim are good people. But you got that 20%. And this is at this point, this is a real problem with the extremists. And I know you can't say much, and I understand that because to the point where you're not even able to speak out on extremist attacks in your own country. In UK, you're thrown into jail for it. So now we have Western nations where free speech is a cornerstone of their entire lifestyle that are now being punished for speaking out against the people who are from there. So now, like, we're, this is insane. And seems to be a 2-tier system. So those who are coming in are allowed to have guns. but they're taking them away from the nationals.
Mm.
And we're looking at what's happening with terrorists. We're looking at what's happening with the Somalis. We're looking at how they're, taking, exactly. We're looking at how they're scamming money and setting up fake businesses. And this is, Biden, how Biden raised the taxes how many times in 4 years?
I can't even count.
Yeah. I mean, and now this money is going towards what? Fake daycare centers and fake feed the children things and all this stuff. So, I mean, this is, if your government takes away, as somebody smarter than I said, takes away the ability to say, fuck the government, this is, I just messed that up, but you know what I'm saying? If you can't say fuck the government, then how can you, these are the people we vote for. How can you criticize your government if they take that ability away? You don't know if you're being repressed if they take the word repressed away.
Well, they're even like they're throwing people in jail that, and this is where like you look at certain people, right? And there was, if I want to take it back to in Melbourne, Victoria. So a couple of months ago in Melbourne, there was a lady walking down the street, minding her own business, and a person run up on her with a knife and just went boosh, 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 and just started stabbing her. Right. That woman was released days before, known to police for having mental illness, violent outrages and stuff like that, and was allowed to walk the streets because we have to take care of the mentally ill. No, we need to put them in a fucking mental asylum so they don't fucking hurt people and run up and stab them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Melbourne, Victoria, they've got people now that are going to affluent areas and areas of money and doing home invasions. And the people that get arrested are getting released the day later.
Wow.
Because, we have to be diverse. We can't, you know what I mean? Like, that's like Victoria has become the wokest state in Australia. And I went there for a wedding a couple of months ago. And like, I literally, my wife just looked at me and said, "This is not the place for you, is it?" And I said, "Fuck no." I could not wait to get the fuck out of that place. And it was, but you see the legal system as well. People can get away with doing whatever the fuck they want and they'll get out because they're a person of diversity.
Now, where you're at, are you feeling, because I know you're not that far from where this all happened, are you and your family feeling okay with how it is now or where it's heading? Or
I've got a background in risk and security management, and high end risk and security management is my background and my work experience past and stuff like that. So for me, I see all this sort of stuff, and I have people that I still am in contact with in that industry, and some of the conversations that I have with them. Yeah, man. Since that Bondi thing, I have told my wife, you are not going to any big shopping center. You need to go do anything. You go to the little small local shopping center. You buy it on Amazon. I'll pay the extra $50 or whatever it is. I'll go, but you are not going to any major shopping center, any Australian landmark, anything like that. My nephew, I think a couple of days before Christmas Eve, was saying he was going to go down to Cronulla Beach. And I said, like, fuck you are, boy. And I told my brother-in-law, I said, put a fucking nix to it. I said, nothing may happen, but I said, why even fucking risk it? Don't go there. Don't go. Like, I even said to my nephew, you know what, you tell your buddies you can come around and swim in my pool instead. It's, like, have fun, whatever. I go, but don't go down there, the Cronulla. I said, just stay the fuck away from there. Maybe it's paranoia, but for me, like, I'd rather be safe than sorry,
So this is basically like a virus that's spreading.
I wouldn't say that it's a virus that's spreading. I think that, well, yeah, I mean, you could say that actually, but I think for me, what I take away from what happened at Bondi, it was 48 minutes away from my house. It's a place where, like, growing up, I spent a lot of time down there. It was a place that I've, worked down there and done stuff down there and hung out and partied down in Bondi. And now it's a place where I don't think I'll ever go back to, or I probably won't go back to for a very, very long time. That to me is something I never thought I would feel in Australia, like that I couldn't go somewhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, I never thought I would have that fear. I couldn't take my family to a beach.
Yeah, we're getting all the warnings they're trying to fearmonger us into not going anywhere or doing anything for New Year's Eve here too. And I think that's what they want. They want people in fear and, paranoid and yeah, exactly. They want that fear vibe going on. So they love that. They love uniting people in fear. But why do you think this is happening? Why do you think people are such vaginas that they're not pushing back? I think in the West. Why do you think whites in particular, or whites and blacks rather, are not uniting to push back, or whites, blacks, and Hispanics? Everybody. Why do you think everybody's not pushing back to take back their country?
We're starting to see that.
I'm saying whites because Australia is predominantly white and indigenous, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, same with England is too, yeah.
We're starting to see that, and we're starting to see that in New Zealand. Like, there's been major protests. There was, there was something that was being promoted that was going to happen down in Cronulla Beach, which is about 20 minutes from my house. Okay. On the 27th of December, they wanted to have what was called a wog bashing day. So a wog is a derogatory term that you would call someone from an Eastern country, or Italian or Greek or whatever. It's a racial slur, right?
Oh, like us.
It's a racial slur, right? So right. It's coming, right? Like, so this young person was promoting this down at Cronulla Beach. They tracked down who it was, and they were going to arrest him. And basically what happened 20 years ago, almost to the day, was the Cronulla riots, where basically something similar, there was no shooting, but basically there was an altercation that happened at Cronulla Beach where some Middle Eastern guys came and I think tapped a young girl on the ass, and then the white boys beat the shit out of the Middle Eastern guys for fucking grabbing the chick on the ass. And then next thing you know, cars full of Habibis start turning up to Cronulla, and then Cronulla starts turning into Australians versus Middle Easterns in, bashing and stuff like that. And this person was trying to promote something the day after Boxing Day and spreading around. And this person is looking at potential jail time as well for trying to entice a riot, trying to entice hate, to go after people for religious and stuff like that. And to me, honestly, I don't think that's ridiculous in itself. Like, the fact that this young 20-something-year-old decided to go and entice something like that and put a bunch of people at fucking risk and to get people riled up. And the thing is, this kid lived fucking 3 hours out of Sydney as well. So it's like,
right.
You know what I mean? So I hope he does get fucking jail time, to be honest, because it's even though I do want to see, a little bit more control come to our country, I don't think violence is the way. Violence, fighting and shooting and stabbing people is never the way. Mm-hmm. Talking is the way of getting through, and having conversations. How
do you talk when you're not allowed to talk, though? How do you talk when you are in fear of saying something that violates whatever their rules they put up that they have deemed you'll go to jail for? So how do you have these conversations?
You have to find a way. Right now, I think, that's weird, man, in Sydney. It's fucking weird. People are just at the moment being a little bit nicer to each other, a little bit friendlier. It's kind of like how the 80s and 90s were. Hey, how you doing, neighbor? That sort of stuff is happening more, where it sort of hasn't been for a long time. And, I think
in the 80s and 90s, we call each other faggots too.
Right.
True.
Faggot.
Yeah.
So,
nobody got offended by it. Nobody gave a shit.
We're nice to each other because we didn't have any censorship.
Yeah.
100%. But back then, we didn't give a fuck. I'm pretty much what Piers, my girl, wants.
That was people that were not gay.
Yeah. We called them retarded too.
If I'm around doing wrestling training or whatever, and I go, oh man, that was so fucking gay, and I look at my friend who's gay, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean it in that way. I kind of meant it in 2005 gay.
Are you gay?
Yeah.
I fucking love that fucking thing. But
I have more questions.
Yeah, please go.
So, in your particular area where you live, do you find that it's becoming over or a lot more immigrants than it used to be? I'm not sure how to phrase that properly without.
No. the area I live in the Sutherland Shire, which is probably like one of the most, no, I wouldn't say bogan, but yeah, like there's not a lot of that. There is and there isn't. I mean, like I grew up in the Ryde area, which is about an hour from here. So to me, that was always a multicultural area. Like I was kind of like the odd one out in my friend group. Most of my friends were Armenian, Lebanese, Italian, and stuff like that. And to me, as a kid, it never really meant anything. You know what I mean? Like it was never anything weird about, like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't odd until I got to high school, and then like. I went to a high school where it was like, man, we had race riots and race battles and shit like that. And it was like, man, you have to be on the Aussie side. And I'm like, but my friends are sitting over there. Why do I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of like thing. But yeah, like I definitely think Sydney overall, you definitely do see it, but not in any particular area. I think Western Sydney, you're seeing a very massive influx. Like around, you know, Campbelltown, Penrith, areas like that, which were predominantly white Australian areas, they're now becoming, like you see, very heavy Muslim Indian areas.
I looked up stats on that today because, of course, all the stuff I'm going to see is going to be not correct, I'm sure. But the only thing I could find for a census for Australia was from 2021. I'm like, really? 4 years old? And it gave me really what I thought was BS. And religion-wise, it was like Christianity was like 43.9%. No religion, 38.9%. I'm like, really? Islam, 3.2%. Hinduism, 2.7%. And I'm like, okay. And I was looking at age, sex, males. It gives me generations, millennials. And then ancestry, English, Australian, Irish, Scottish, Chinese, Italian, German, and like you were saying, but
notice how they left all those indigenous people right out of there.
Yeah, and a significant European and Asian ancestry with nearly a third born overseas. That's what it says, and I'm like,
do you know the history of Australia?
That's what is so wrong. I know
Australia was the dumping ground of England. Like England had people they wanted to get rid of, right? They emptied their jails out, and they had hookers, literally hookers. So they told the prisoners, if you marry this hooker, we will send you to Australia. So it was like an all expenses paid, get the fuck out of this country. So you got an inmate and a whore, and you sent them to Australia, and that is why it's such a fun fucking country.
Yeah. And so I was I was like, this is stupid. I know this is BS. So that's why I'm asking you questions. Yeah. So you have to excuse me. I have a spider that's like jumping around in front of me out here. Like, what the hell is going on?
That sounds completely fabricated. And you know, I think as well that you know, one of the things as well, we've seen such an increase in immigration to Australia over the years, and that, you know, they've basically been laxed on vetting. But, you know, they bring these people over, make them Australian citizens, then they're continuing to vote for that particular party. And that's what we've seen here in Australia. And that's where, like, now, I think a lot more Australians, probably more of our age generation, are now waking the fuck up and saying, like, holy shit, like, if something doesn't happen soon, you know, we're going to be in a really, really bad state in years to come. And I think that, like, I've never really been into politics and never really, you know, got into discussing it or following it or anything like that, or even really took much thought in voting before. But now it's like, yeah, like I've woke the fuck up. My eyes are open and I'm seeing what's happening. And even on our news stations and stuff like that, like some of the propaganda that they're trying to put out and spread, it's like, yeah, I don't believe what you were telling me.
I don't believe anything on the news anymore. There's so many things I don't believe. I don't believe the medical community. I don't believe, I don't believe the news. I don't believe politicians. And that goes left and right. I don't believe a lot of things. Like I have to dig deep on my own and start digging for things before I'll believe it. I need evidence. So
did you see there was a clip that was on Instagram? I don't know if I shared it with you, April. It was Jesse Ventura.
Okay.
Jesse Ventura was interviewing this woman. and it would have been mid 90s. And she's like, there's going to be a worldwide pandemic. They're going to force a vaccine on all of you, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, he's like, do you want to come? He's like, nope, I don't want to come in. I just want to get the fuck out of here after I'm done here. Like, she's like, they're going to kill me. I'm leaving America. I'm out. Like, yeah, you know the one I'm talking about, right? Like she,
I've seen that clip.
Yeah. I don't know if that's AI or not, but that was ridiculous. That had me on.
Yeah, there was a few people that predicted it. I remember my my webmaster actually. So sent me a book when this started, when COVID started, the very beginning. He goes, you should check out this book. There was a book written that predicted all of it, right down to the pandemic, the vaccine, the forcing of the vaccine, all of it. And this was from like 2000. It was written like 2000, I don't know, 16, 17. And I was like, huh. So that's, I was always a bit of a conspiracy theorist, which you're going to be if you're in any kind of fitness and health.
Sure.
Because you see what's working for you. You see what's healthy to eat. And then you see what the nutritionists are telling people to eat. You'll see the food pyramid, which is complete bullshit. It should be
BMI.
Yeah. You see the you see the BMI, which is somebody like me. It measures me as borderline obese.
How tall are you? You're like 5'7", 5'8", right?
Yeah, 5'7". So because of being muscular, it'll still put me at borderline obese. And I think you think about all the people it's doing that to. So you see all the things like
April obese. I don't think so.
Like having chicken. When you have chickens and you wonder, like, why are these eggs so different? These are orange yolks and they taste so much better. I thought I was getting cage free. I thought my eggs were free range when I was buying, but they don't look anything or taste anything like this. So what am I getting? So you start really kind of being, or you start taking supplements and you feel better. And then you realize, you go in for a surgery and the doctor says, well, 2 weeks before your surgery, you have to stop all supplements. But meanwhile, other people are telling you, well, supplements are bullshit. They're unregulated. They're a bunch of crap. And I'm like, well, if they're a bunch of crap, why is my doctor or my surgeon telling me I can't take any supplements 2 weeks before surgery? Obviously they do something. So you start realizing that things out there are working and things that they're telling us are not true. And
I always laugh when I see something like come out like going, yeah, the new fat burning pill. You take one pill a day and you'll drop 50 pounds. Like,
okay.
Buy this shit.
The Ozempic, the Ozempic and Wegovy stuff.
Yeah.
You see the GLP-1 shots. Mark my words, there's going to be so many lawsuits.
Oh my God.
It is going to be the biggest shit show that we've seen this side of fucking fen. And
I'm already seeing lawsuits popping up all over the place.
Man, it causes advanced aging. It causes bone degeneration and bone loss. It causes your spine to degenerate. It causes
twisted guts,
stomach to twist. You are going to see, and you'll gain like 40 pounds back the minute you stop. The pharmaceutical industry has found something perfect. They have found a way to help people lose weight really quickly, get them sick, weak, and then fat as fuck the minute they stop. So they have to stay on the shot forever.
And hopefully it kills them off, so then they can get another generation of people doing it, and you can blame it on someone.
And right now in the labs, they're working on food chemical food to override the Ozempic Wegovy thing to make people not be able to have the shut off. So enhance the flavors. So it's but in America, we're the only country that has a Food and Drug Administration. We've normalized that.
I got called a bully on social media because I posted body positivity was a thing, then came Ozempic. Right. So
you're such a bully. Oh my God.
I am so with you. I was like, when did we start celebrating mediocrity?
Yeah.
Like all these girls that were younger, like half my age or more, like 21 years old, like muffin tops, chubby as fuck, cellulite everywhere, wearing shorts to the gym. I'm like, this is not, you don't look good. And yeah, some dude's going to tell you look good and he's going to fuck you for sure, but you don't look good and no one is aspiring to look like you. This is not goal setting.
But see, that's the thing with a lot of these women, and that I feel like in today's society, and I'm probably going to get burnt here from saying this to two women, but you know, I'm always honest. But like I feel like a majority of modern women, you know, like even the mid ones can go get top level men. So I think like for women to get sexual access is a lot easier for men to get sexual access, because women don't necessarily need to even look that presentable to be able to get laid, right? But for men, they have to have certain things. They have to have status. They have to have height. Like most women, they don't want to fuck with a guy that's under 6 foot. They want him to have abs. They want him to have a 6-figure salary. That's a lot of fucking pressure.
6 feet. They went six figure. What was it? 666, right? The 6-figure salary, 6 feet tall, and a 6-pack abs. And it's like
we were just talking about that the other day. And
but that's when it comes down to that, you know, like a women having high sexual, you know, conquests is a detriment to her, where a men having a higher number of sexual partners is more of an attraction to other women. And it's because why? Because he has to have all these things enable for him to get all of these sexual conquests to get there. For women, not so much.
I don't know. I think there's it's interesting.
I have so many comments.
I think it's very fascinating. I think there's only a select few. There's a lot of women out there, especially on dating sites, that talk about how they want men to be, you know, 6-figure salary and
that's not
6 foot, you know, whatever, and 6-pack abs. I think there's only a select handful of women who will actually get that. Yeah, right, exactly.
That tier men, they have a certain criteria if they want. They don't want a woman.
Yeah, they're not going to date Playboy models and supermodels. They're not going to date.
But they think they're going to get that.
They're not going to date you, right? So, and even then, if you honestly, if you want a quality dude, it's probably not worth it to go after the guy that every girl is trying to pull just because his numbers on paper look good, because he's probably not going to treat you well. So,
I mean, that's one way to look at it, but I don't think necessarily he's not going to treat her well. But like, I also think that for the long part, when we look at it as, you know, these women that come into these situations that have all these high expectations, that want the guy with the 666, but what do they actually bring to the table? Like, they want that, but what do they want? Those type of high tier men that are looking for a life partner, they're looking for someone who's more conservative, who's not necessarily posting on social media and going out there and, you know, saying, I want this, I want that. Those sort of women are, you know, the quiet achievers of the world. That's what they want. They don't want, you know, women that are going to be out there, are going to be so pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
You might not be able to say it, but I can.
Oh, I can say it. You know
I don't want Instagram hoes.
Like before I met my wife, right? I was about 28, 29. I knew I was wanting to settle down. And it was like,
we don't want females rings in their noses. Yeah. Colin says.
No. But on females. No. But before I met my wife, like just before I met my wife, I wanted to settle down. And, you know, when I met my wife, I was also talking with another female who was a lot different to my wife. And I was like, the two differences is like, well, this is a woman who is, you know, well educated, come from a good family, good home, has morals. This other woman is a wild fucking DJ, fucking, you know, loves to go out, drink, get on cocaine and all that sort of stuff. Would be a lot of fun for a year or two, but then like as a serious relationship or someone who I'd want to be the mother of my children, probably not. And, you know, obviously, you know, my wife is someone I love very much and I'm very lucky to be with her, but it was like, to me, it was a no-brainer of like which one I wanted to pursue.
You got a handsome young man there that came in earlier, so
obviously
something went right. Yep.
Because clearly he looks like his mother.
I had hair back then. I had hair back then. I had a lot of hair back then. So I was more attractive than a minute.
They say bald is beautiful anyway.
Apparently in some countries, if you say any like bald jokes to a man, that's considered like an assault and you can be charged.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know which country. I saw it on social media.
Oh, you're gonna make me look that up. Okay.
Now you're gonna definitely look. So did you know, you probably know this already too. Did you know the original calendar of because we're going into New Year's, right? Everybody, it's an Australian thing too, right? New Year's on January 1st. Okay. I didn't know how widespread this was. So did you know that we not originally, but the previous calendar was a 13-month calendar of 28 days before Augustus, Julius Caesar, Augustus. So we had a calendar that kind of went with natural earth flow, ebb and flow, like the everything from hormonal cycles to moon cycles. 13 appears in nature quite a lot. All the tortoise, turtle shells, they all have 13 things on their back. So back when people were living with the earth instead of on it, they kind of made more sense, which I always say, if you're one of those horoscope people where you're going just by your sun sign, first off, you shouldn't be going by your sun sign. Secondly, the original calendar, you're probably going by the wrong sign. But then Julius decided to change the calendar to speed up time. So when time sped up, he was able to collect more taxes. So Ethiopia, with zero fucks to give, decided to keep the old calendar. So they never changed. Guess what year they're on?
28 month, right?
Yeah. 28 days, 13 months. Yeah.
I'd say 2003.
No, they just flipped over to 2017.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So they have 8 years worth of taxes more than we do? 7 or 8 years worth. Yeah, exactly. So
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Speeding up those years puts a lot more money in the government's coffers. You know what I'm saying? So they also never changed the Bible. So I don't know if people know this or not, but the Catholic Church decided to, I think it was after Council of Nicaea, pull a bunch of books from the Bible that they felt shouldn't be in there. Again, Ethiopia gave everybody the middle finger again and said, we're going to keep it intact. We're going to keep our canon intact. So they have, Jubilees and Judith and Mary and Tobit, sorry. And they have all the original books. So that if you pick up the Ethiopian Bible, you can read everything intact. So it's probably, I don't know, my conspiracy theory is that way back when the drought happened, and since they were an original Christian nation, all the nations around them are not. They're not. Nobody came to help them during that drought because maybe they didn't want them to be okay. Just a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got an answer to that question too.
Interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Here's a good question. Okay. YTAB says they're getting way behind the times.
That's Alex. I don't know. Maybe we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Doesn't it feel like time is speeding up?
Right.
Especially considering that the Earth has shifted. The Earth's poles have shifted, and we are much closer to the sun than we were originally told. That's why the sun has been feeling much more intense. That's why the weather modification experiments have been going on, that they've been trying to block the sun a little bit. So a solar flare could knock out our power grid very easily because we've shifted so far north towards the sun. So, but they don't want us to know that. So you don't know that. But if you pay attention, you will see that. No.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Have you noticed that the sun is a lot more intense now than it used to be?
At times, yeah, like when it's hot, like even like on days when it's like not as hot, and you go, man, it just feels like it's way hotter than what it says. Like it's
because we had a polar shift to north.
That's ridiculous.
So it's not climate change. We're polar shifting or geomagnetic shift. So yeah.
So
That's wild. That just spun me out.
Yeah.
That
so
just,
if I'm sorry, go
no.
ahead. So I'm glad you brought that up with the bald thing. So that's kind of interesting. Calling a bald man counts as sexual harassment, and that's in the UK. That's the only country so far.
Of course, that's in the UK. Everything's in
Yes.
the UK.
And the Supreme Court has held it up as recent as last year in 2024.
Wait, here or there? They don't have a
Over there.
Supreme Court, do they? Oh, they do? Okay.
Whatever they call their higher court. Sorry,
Okay.
tribunal.
Okay.
So yes, they held it up by their tribunal last year. So
Wow.
All is beautiful and it's sexual harassment.
So you call, man.
I'll tell you one.
It could be sexual harassment. Really?
As a bald guy, the one thing that fucking pisses me off more than anything is people that come up and do this. Or
now you know how pregnant women feel. They walk up and just rub your stomach.
Yeah, I had 3 kids. I saw it happen. I actually said to one person that came up and like did that to my wife. I go, isn't it funny? People come up to my wife and rub her stomach and say, "Oh, congratulations," but no one comes up and rubs my balls and says, "Good job."
Exactly.
And the person just looked at me, and I was like, "Come on, make my day, make my day." Come on.
Now, how are your balls?
Sorry.
Speaking of, how are your balls now?
Long and hanging to the left.
Right, but last time we talked to you, you were getting them.
Yes.
Snip.
I had the.
Snip. You're getting the big snipperoo.
That done and dusted. Yeah, no, I'm 100%. I was back at training a week later.
Good for you.
Yeah, no, it's
good
great.
for you.
Yeah, so no more babies. It's great.
Yeah.
Got the final ticket of approval.
There you go. Good for you.
Yeah, man. 100%. No more kids is great. I love the ones I got. You just don't want any more little fuckers.
I can understand. They seem like a bit of a bank drain, right? And then
You know what? No, look, you don't regret the kids that you have, but it's like it's funny. Like my youngest, like yesterday, we were like down at a holiday place, and you have cabanossi over there. If I say cabanossi, do you know what that is? Anyway, it's like a long red sausage that you cut up, and you usually serve it for
kielbasa. We call it kielbasa. We'll call it kielbasa, Polish sausage, right?
Yeah. You just cut it up. You have it like with cheese and crackers normally. So we're at our holiday place. My youngest goes to the fridge, comes out with a whole fucking long piece of cabanossi, is like that long. And I'm like, buddy, no, you can't eat all that. And he goes, yeah, I can. Watch this. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like, I know what's going to happen, but fuck it, let's go. And he just proceeds to eat the entire thing. And then for the rest of the day was just sick as a dog. And he was just laying on me. He's like, he looked up last night. He's like, Daddy. I went, yeah. He goes, you were right. I shouldn't have eaten all that cabanossi. He's like, I said, does that mean you're going to listen to me now? And he goes, no. At least you're honest, pal. At least you're honest.
At least you got you were right.
Oh man, yeah. He's the youngest is always the one that tests you the most.
So, and Colin says that if Ethiopia's in 2017 now, that means when the world was supposed to end in 2012, that means it ended in 2020 for us. Do I have that right?
I wasn't sure what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Or 2002.
Yeah, or
2002.
No, yeah. That's crazy.
Yes, and Michael's saying it's freaking cold here in Florida. It is. It is. And he also said people are too picky, and I agree with you.
2020, Colin says 2020.
2020, yeah.
How's America been after the Charlie Kirk thing?
I got opinions on that. I'll let you answer that first, April.
No, go ahead.
All right. So
we can't go much longer. We have to go, but we'll finish with that one. Yeah.
Sure. My quick second opinion on that is going to be, in the beginning, it was very quiet. Everybody was like, "Oh shit," that was really something. I still see a lot of religion coming out of that. I still see people very heartfelt over the situation. But it seems to have settled, and I'm not sure whatever. He was in front of the guy was in front of courts today. The shooter was in front of courts today. He's fighting for his privacy on what can be said about him in court. I saw that today. But outside of that, that's all I'm going to say on that.
I don't believe he's a shooter. I don't believe he's a shooter. It's all too convenient.
There's a big conspiracy
to frame somebody with a trans agenda. There's too convenient to find a letter that laid everything out. If it's too convenient, if you know anything about snipers, just none of that. No, that was too convenient. I think he was killed by.
He was definitely killed by. A group or whatever. It's just sad that probably I don't know for too much, but you never know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Colin has a good point. Don't wear any mics like that anytime soon.
Exactly. It looks like to me, if you look at it, looks like the mic exploded.
Yeah, it does. So.
Allegedly, there is technology that is known through various groups from government to Mossad who can do that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of questions that come with it. Like even the alleged shooter was eating like Burger King or like Dairy Queen or something like that. Like 30 minutes later, like first time shooter.
Now they're pinning her on some kid and just going to lose his entire life from he's a patsy, I think.
I think so too. But I think like it's one of those things. It's like why were they taking him out? Like why would that group be taking him out? That would be
he had too much influence.
Oh, there's many reasons why they would take him out. He was preaching. He was talking across the aisle. He was trying to unite people. So, and he was also bringing a lot of stuff regarding, I guess, Israel agenda to light.
Yep.
I think it's definitely a shame when you see a young person get taken out like that, and it's wild. But one thing I saw recently, like, is that Nick Fuentes guy. He was like making comments about JD Vance and stuff like that, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh man, they're gonna shoot this guy next. Like
there's a lot of people they haven't taken out, which is
Colin said. Yep, he had too much influence and was going to shed some light on Big Izzy.
Yeah.
It's
now they're going after Candace now.
They're going after quite a few people.
Like Australia refused her entry.
Hmm.
They refused to let her come to Australia, and that's wild to me because we'll accept ISIS brides and fucking everyone else wants to shoot up and kill fucking Australians, but no, Candace, we can't have Candace because she'll come out and say some mean words.
I watched a show. I'm just going to leave with this, okay? Now we're talking about how fucked up Islam is and how fucked up Israel can be, and everything in between. I watched a show a long time ago, and it was taken off every platform in America. It was called Raised by Wolves. The guy who played Ragnar in Vikings was in it. And one of I think it was banned for maybe one of two reasons. It was heavy with AI. It like kind of told a future with AI. But another reason it may have been banned is because one of the things it told was that the only way through peace was through atheism. That there was always going to be wars with religion. And don't get me wrong, I'm extremely spiritual, and I see what's going on. I see all these genocides everywhere. I see all the right now. It seems like a heavy Christian genocide. We see all these genocides going on everywhere in the name of this God, that God, this God, this God. It's maybe atheism is the only way to peace. I don't know, but it seems like it's something worth considering. Or just coming. I don't know what the answer is, but it's something, because Lord knows it's just getting worse and worse. You like that irony? Lord knows. Pun intended. You like that?
Yep.
I'm not a
God damn it, it's getting worse and worse.
Look, I've never been a religious person, and I've probably been. But I don't know. I think religion does serve its purposes, but I think there's also when you're psychotic, schizophrenic, have mental illness, and you hear something and you interpret a certain way. And
There's a lot of mental illness right now.
There's a lot of mental illness in the world.
A lot of unaddressed mental illness.
Mhm,
A lot
yep.
of extremists. And I honestly think that the media, social media, all of that is being what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not finding the right word, but being cultivated to create more. Yeah, to create more, to agitate and irritate and create more. So, and to bring it out. So I think it's really important to understand that, see it, not be manipulated, not be played, not be reactive. So
100%. And and we see that a lot with the transgender and the alphabet mafia. Like we're starting to see that infiltrated into children's TV shows, and you've got to be aware of what's going on. Like each day I am more and more wanting to put my kids into homeschooling. I am. Some of the things that my kids come back and ask me questions about and say certain things about has got me definitely asking a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot not to trust. It's like a long list of things that like you don't trust anymore, and schools are one of them. So yeah,
100%. I feel like I'm becoming that old man conspiracy theorist, and my wife just sits here and like rolls her eyes at me sometimes. I'm like,
oh man, I'm telling you, after everything we've all been through, if you're not a conspiracy theorist at this point, you are. There's something wrong with you. If there really is. You're just not keeping up. So
100%.
And Alex says cultivate social media are being misused. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like it's being misused. But anyway, we won't keep you. We know everybody has to go get some dinner or go get some Netflix. In your case, go get some lunch. So
yeah, it's about lunchtime. I think my kids
for you, right?
Yeah, it is. I got people coming to my house in a few hours, so and I think my kids are dying for me to go out there and do something. So they've been very patient.
Well, happy New Year's to you. Happy New Year's to everybody who is with us tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you to everybody. We're gonna do like a fan Q&A, fan chat next week, where we're just gonna talk about all kinds of fun and cool stuff. So thank you for being with us. We appreciate you and Rachel taking time to come in and on your
and
on your holiday
well.
here. Yes. So
it was my pleasure.
Where can people find you?
Yes.
Find me on Instagram at the Piers Austin, Twitter Piers Austin, YouTube Piers Austin everywhere. You can find me at your local bar, probably a drunken mess.
Just not at Bondi Beach.
Yes, nowhere. Yeah, nowhere in large public groups. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be. I'm just next year. I'm just gonna stay in my house, podcast, and just like that's it.
And yell out the window, "Get off my lawn!"
Wait, there was a request. There was one request. Can you say crikey?
Crikey.
There you go.
Well, good night. Happy New Year's and good day to you.
Yes.
Happy
New Year.
Bye, you guys. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. You know better. Don't drink and drive. Mwah. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Bye.